ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fake Radio. We got a special guest on the podcast. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm RDCarucci. I'm a rapper. I just released my EP, Brooklyn Vignettes.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, man. So this is pre-recorded. So by the time this comes out, hopefully it'll be out for everyone. But that's how we're doing it right now. So RDCarucci, you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, I did.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Okay, where in Brooklyn?
Park Slope.
Okay, wait. I know mad people over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, wait, where'd you go to high school?
I went to Murrah.
I've heard of that. Yeah. No, I know people who went to Berkeley Carroll.
Oh, Berkeley Carroll. My parents signed me up to go there in kindergarten. And
really?
I didn't get in.
That's so funny. Yeah, my cousin goes there.
I was sick.
So, yeah, I know.
I've heard some I think I heard a story about this girl who keeps cocaine in her locker.
That's not my cousin. Yeah, I would know that if that were. Yeah, I would. No, I know. You know the book where Jacob Tremblay was the deformed kid?
Yeah, Wonder.
Yeah, I think that's based on Berkeley Carroll.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know she is in Brooklyn. She lives in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
The artist, or the author.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up, Park Slope, Brooklyn?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It was really interesting is watching it change so much.
Yeah.
Getting very gentrified.
No, for sure.
I won't cap and say it wasn't gentrified when I grew up, but it's
right.
Really different now than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, Barclays Center was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they kicked out a bunch of people. There's a big thing about it because to build the Barclays Center, they needed to kick out a bunch of people who were living there so they didn't have the space. So it was kind of fucked up. And then downtown Brooklyn is the skyline is horrible.
Yeah.
And literally 9 years ago, it was so much nicer. And now it's there's all these fucking high rises that are super ugly.
Yeah. No, I've been there many times. That's if I ever go to New York for anything. Well, now I can't go there because Corona, so they can't see me. But before that, anytime I would go to New York for anything, I would have stayed at their apartment in Park Slope. So I've
where
been
in Park Slope?
I don't want to give their address out, but yeah. But I've been in that area. I'm very familiar with the area. Out of anywhere in New York, that's probably the most familiar.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah. So was your high school mad segregated and shit?
So my high school is not in Park Slope. It's in Midwood. It's it's the most diverse high school in the state.
Oh, word.
So it's 20.
That's me and BLA too. The high school I went to in Boston. That's same thing. Yeah.
But then everything else, every place else in Brooklyn everything in New York is pretty segregated.
Yeah. Everything in Boston is segregated. I know New York has more segregated schools, but I think Boston is a little more segregated as a place.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I've been learning about busing.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot.
No, you haven't even been to the neighborhoods outside of downtown yet. You're gonna.
I have.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you already know.
No, yeah. It's it's weird. It's downtown Boston's super white, and then you leave and it's
No, see, you haven't even. If you think downtown Boston, you haven't been to Southie.
Oh.
Or West.
South End.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there.
Or Westie.
JP.
No, JP. No. JP, I don't really know what what everyone there is just on drugs.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of that's kind of how I interpret that place. But yeah, it's I live where the college kids lived, and then there's like JP where all the like the stoners live, and then there's like Westy, it's like all white people, and then like Hyde Park, it's like it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But you know, that's how we live in. So you're a rapper.
Yes.
How did you get into hip hop? What was like your introduction to rap and stuff like that?
My introduction to hip hop was Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Because of the internet.
Right.
It was like the first rap album I listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, holy shit, this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that a lot. And then I started getting into Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, this is like the best. This is insane.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
You were 13 when To Pimp a Butterfly came out? I
didn't listen to it when it came out.
Oh, okay.
I listened to it 2016, end of 2016. That's when I first listened to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess I was 13 when it came out.
Yeah. No, I remember I listened to it. I was 15 when it came out. And I listened to it when I was doing homework. And I did not finish that homework assignment because I was
just like, I was doing homework the other day. And I was listening to it to like get me like, because like there are like certain moods that like that I know I can get into for Butterfly, and then I just stopped doing my homework and I just started like jamming.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, no, that's real. So when did you start rapping? When like?
So I started rapping. I started writing verses in 2018, like summer 2018.
Okay.
What I used to what happened was I was writing a lot of poetry in junior year, and then all of a sudden I wrote a poem that was a verse.
Okay. What were you saying before?
Where did it cut off?
Like right when you were talking about like poetry and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, I was writing poems, and then I wrote a verse, and I wrote a poem that was a verse, and I was like, oh shit, okay, this isn't that bad. And then I just like kept like on the side like writing my own verses, and then I was like talking to it with my friend. And we at Murrow, there's this Music Tech X program that they have, and me and my friend started going there, and my friend was producing. And so we started to like work on songs together, but then we had some own personal issues we needed to get through. Yeah. And we weren't in a state where we could make music together. Yep. But that like kind of got my, more towards like writing full verses, writing songs. Yeah. And then I think the big thing that really pushed me to actually make music was Hip Hop Society. Yeah. For sure. Like actually make the Halloween EP. Yeah. And then Society shit. Yeah. Really was like, oh shit, I like doing this.
And that's why I like it, because most of the people who are rapping on those tapes that's their first time rapping, which is really cool. Yeah, take me through the process of like, how did you learn, like where did you learn about the Hip Hop Society, and how did you come to meet all those people?
So I just learned through Hip Hop Society by going to the org meet, or what's it called?
The org fair?
Org fair, yeah.
Oh wait, you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I meet you there?
No, I met Owen, Adamir, and Danny.
Wait, no, I was low-key there, because I was the only dude that was there the whole time. I was like talking shit about that.
No, I remember, because I remember I talked to Danny about Dirty Laundry that just dropped.
Oh, okay. I was there. I must have been in the back or something, because I was definitely there the whole time, because I remember like Adamir left for something and like that. But I remember I was like, because I love doing those things. So I was but then when I saw you at the first meeting, I didn't remember. Yeah. You're there. Wait, you met her when Dirty Laundry was playing?
Yes.
Okay, that explains why. Because I didn't want to spoil myself, and she played it, and I was like, fuck. And then I had to like kind of take cover to not hear it, or I was like trying to distract myself or something.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I don't remember you from that org fair.
So yeah, I went to the org fair, and I was like, I love hip hop. I really want to do like a hip hop club. I was like, this is perfect for me.
Yeah.
I went to the first meeting. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome.
We cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I went. I was like, oh, we're making music. Okay.
Yeah. And also, let me say, you know, I only met you like a few like 6 something months ago, or I think it's been a year. I've known you for a year, but you have been you've seen how the show progressed, because back when we were recording in the radio studio, your show was right after mine. So every time, I think you saw me, like the second time I talked to you was like after I wrapped my first fake radio show.
Yeah.
So you've been there since the beginning. You've seen you haven't met most of the guests, but you've seen them walk out with me every time.
I've been in the stew.
Yep, you know exactly where I've been. So so your first song was
Put It in the Bag.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, word. Yeah,
that was the first verse I wrote for Society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Silent Shrill.
Cool. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, and then so you do that, and then when does like Let Me Do an EP come into question? Like, was it during quarantine?
So I had the idea that I wanted to do my own project after Society shit. Yeah. Like we were recording credits.
Yes.
And I did, my verse that I did is like, it's like, I had my own concept.
Yeah. That's crazy, because I was with you when you were recording credits. Yeah.
And it was this concept of this. So I just watched Dave Chappelle, The Bird Revelation.
Okay.
And so I wrote a verse about how like it was a celebrity who was being used by, it was from the point of view of like some random celebrity being used by corporations and kind of bragging about it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, I want to do an album all about this, like concept album. And that didn't happen, and then quarantine happened, and I was like, I want to do a project, and I was like, I reached out to John. I was like, yo, you know what we should do? I should do a mixtape where we sample like my favorite movies of last year, and then I rap about them. Yeah. And then that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think they were. I'm not like in the rap scene, like part of that, so I'm not familiar, but I think at one point they were planning on doing because we did the Society Summer mixtape the summer before that, and so then I think they were planning on doing one last summer too, because I think if you listen to John's episode or Danny's second episode, they were talking about doing that, but that never really came to be.
Yeah, I remember that we talked about it.
Yeah.
And it was just like everything was just turned on its head.
Yeah, it was cool. The first summer it was cool because it was like a song every week.
Yeah. And
that was like really where John did a lot of his first production stuff. So yeah, the first one's cool. You should check it out. But no, so that never came to be. So then what kind of inspired you to do the EP?
Adamir, everything is good.
Yeah.
He like seeing him make his own project and put it out and like promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want to do this.
Word.
Like, my friends are over here doing that.
Yeah.
Why don't I make my own project? I feel confident enough in my abilities to try to string together a project. And so then what happened was my friend from fourth grade, he's now a producer, and I've seen him on IG like talking about making beats and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so then I think in April he said something on his story of like, hey, if you want to collab, hit me up and then we'll do something. So I swiped up.
Where?
And then he gave me the beats for Incompetence Era and Summertime Flirting.
Okay. This was the Eli?
Yeah, yo, Eli,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then, so wait, had you talked to him since 4th grade, or that you just became friends in 4th grade?
So we were friends from 4th grade to 9th grade. We went to the same elementary school and middle school together. And then we didn't go to the same high school. So we kind of just got out of touch.
Yeah.
But I've seen him around on Instagram, and I'm sure he's like seen my stories. So it was like, you're connected-ish.
Yeah, no, for real. And then you just hit him up. And then, so then there's some other New York producers that I'm not familiar with on the album too. You want to name, shout out them?
So the other producer is Ears Blessed by God.
Yeah.
And so that was crazy because I was getting a quarantine cut.
Yeah.
So like my barber is also like 2 of my friends' barber. So we were at my friend's house. We were all like getting a haircut.
Yeah. And
so then I've been talking to my barber about like rapping. Like he's known for like a year or so. And so I was playing him my stuff, and then my friend Elijah was like, okay, you're getting better. And he was telling me about his producer friend. He was like, maybe, and I was like, oh shit, can you connect me with him? And then maybe he can make the beats. And so then he did. And he made Inner Sally and Divisive Politicians.
Okay. Right.
And then the other producer
is
one of my best friends.
Okay.
Zach Hockenberry. He doesn't have a producer name yet, but he's going to be credited. He's credited as Zach Hockenberry. And so he made the Cycles beat.
Yeah.
And so it was just something he was like telling me about how he was like making music in quarantine. I was like, oh shit, why don't you send it to me?
Yeah.
And then he sent me the Cycles beat, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta have this. And so then, yeah.
Word. So then, who did the album art? Because you're out, or at least for the single you dropped, Incompetence Era. There's like there's you in like a, what would you call that getup? Like
in a me with the mint overcoat.
Yeah. I've never seen a. Yeah, seen a cover quite like that on a rap album. What inspired you to? Yeah, what inspired you to do that?
So
that is the art for that single.
The art for that was the song is I feel is like me. So I wrote the first half of that verse like a day or so after I got the beat, and I was like, it was the midst of quarantine, so I'm like, man, I hate Trump. I hate the Republicans. Like, what the fuck? So I just wrote that verse of like, hold up, wait a minute, where you going with those ditches that you digging mighty vicious, and the tone that's filled with glitches. Yeah. And I was just like, that song like feels like I'm taking a stand against the politicians that are really like fucking up the world right now through just their greed, their incompetence, and just like everything. And it's like, oh my God. So the album cover is just me like taking a stand with them in the background. So in the background, it's Mitch McConnell, Brian Kemp, Ron DeSantis, and Stephen Miller.
See, I didn't even notice that. That's deep.
So I was like, I've been talking about it with him for a month, and I was like, all right, let's do the single cover. He sent me a few sketches, and
who did it?
So my friend Onaje Grant Simmons.
Okay.
You can find him on Instagram at Grimmin Studio.
Shout out.
He has his own website too, onajgs.com.
Yeah.
And I've been friends with him for a few years, and he's just like, I'm like, man, this is like the best artist I fucking know. Yeah. So he made that the single art And I would talk to him about like, this is me taking a stand on like this platform against them.
Yeah.
So
where I fuck with that. Yeah. So then, as you've mentioned before, the a few of the songs are super political. You know, you got Incompetence Era and Divisive Politicians. Yeah. So like, what was your inspiration to go like very politically charged with those two songs? Was it just like quarantine shit?
It was quarantine.
Yeah.
I've just been like very into politics.
Yeah.
For,
okay.
like, most of my life.
Word.
So that's like just stuff that like that was in my mind. Incompetence Era was directly like quarantine. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck are we in this position? And I felt it's like we're in an incompetence era because we have all these politicians that have like rose to power and used it because of this really kind of outdated and incompetent system.
Exactly.
That allows people like that to rise to power.
Exactly. That's 100%. So American individualism. There's a lot of you've had a lot of like opinions on that track. You want to air them out right now here?
Yeah. So that track is basically me talking about kind of the current state that I think we find ourselves in this country, like as Americans. Because I think one thing that's really an issue is a lot of people only think for themselves and only fend for themselves. It's kind of like nationwide narcissism. And we don't think about, you know, our communities with the mask wearing, and then just like the world with global warming. And that's why I use those examples. It's like, goddamn Americans, goddamn fuck our heritage. You know, our heritage of thinking that we're the best, which translate to we individuals are the best. You know, people don't really have to care about other people right now. And also, I mean, that's part of what kind of leads to all this like misinformation. I think it's like people are like, I don't need a real source. I'm smart. I can use my intellect.
Right.
You know.
No, absolutely. And I like it because it definitely like catches the ear. The first time I listened to it, I was like, oh shit, he's going there. So I appreciated that, you know. And then the song Summertime Flirting, you know, a lot of storytelling there. And then, you know, you have Inner Sally and Cycles. Those are like very personal songs. So is that the first time you've ever opened up about those subjects before, like publicly?
Yeah. I mean, it is the first time I've opened up publicly. Right. But then it's also like this is like one of my first public appearances.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and you've talked about how like you don't really use social media that much. You kind of see it as like not as like a threat rather than a tool. So this is.
Yeah, I try not to use social media that much.
Yeah.
I like, you know, we all have our vices.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm addicted to it. Like.
No, for sure. We all are.
Yeah.
Especially after quarantine, I feel like everyone just kind of.
Yeah.
Had a social media addiction for a minute. Yeah. Word. And then you know, you dropped the a teaser track called I Am.
Yeah.
Samples Kendrick Lamar's The Heart, which you've mentioned is one of your.
It doesn't sample Kendrick Lamar's The Heart. It's actually the beat for a song off the Kendrick Lamar EP.
Right. Yeah.
I Am. Yeah.
Right. I Am. Yeah. Word. You know, you say on there that rapping is not a plan B, so you're really, you know, putting it out there. This is something that you're committing to. You also you say that you're a vegetarian, which I did not know. Yeah. So when did you become a vegetarian?
I decided to become a vegetarian. these people came to my school and kind of were like, and gave a speech. And, you know, ironically, like I went there. I didn't even have to go there. It wasn't my class. It was like my friend's class. I had a free period and I didn't really like have anything else to do.
Yeah.
So I like stayed with him at the speech, and I was like, oh, but meat is so good. What are they gonna not want me to eat meat? Yeah. And then I like sat through it, and it's like, yo. And also, and so one of the things that really convinced me is like, yeah, it's really horrible what they do to animals. Like, it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that convinced me was a lot of the factory farming heavily contributes to global warming.
Right. Yeah. That's why, because like everyone's always like, what's the point of being vegan? I'm like, it's more about environmental stuff rather than like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm on social media, and especially last year, my like cleansing, my trying to cleanse of social media is like a very new thing. I was on social media and I see everyone, the people were burning down the rainforest, and I was like, everyone's like, only you can stop it by reposting this. I was like, that's stupid. Only you can stop it by becoming a vegetarian.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I realized, I'm like, if I want to actually do something about something that is an existential threat to humanity, I know that's like an overused term, but it's like,
nah, it's true though.
But it is.
Yeah.
So I decided to become a vegetarian, and I started when I got to Emerson because I figured it would be really easy. And it was. I tried to be a vegan, but it was real difficult.
No, for sure. Yeah. No.
Vegetarian. I try to drink little milk though.
So word, and what do you hope like people get out of what do you hope that people get out of listening to this album? What do you hope like people kind of learn from the album? What you know?
I hope that people learn who I am.
Yeah.
People learn, people learn that I'm a talented MC. I think that I created a good project. Yeah. And I hope people listen to it and know to listen to me in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we have a game that we play at the end. Called Dream Collabs. So you choose one rapper who you don't know, mainly like an industry dude who you wish to collab with, and one rapper who you do know personally who you wish to collab with. That fun game to play at the end. You're calling him out basically.
Well, one rapper that I don't know, I don't want to work with, is, you haven't guessed it yet, Kendrick.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not really gonna say someone I know because I already got something in this. I already got something that I'm working on.
Words. Yeah.
You'll see that soon.
I like that answer. And brings me to my next question. What's next for RDCarucci? What like, you got a project coming soon? Like what are your plans for the future?
Well, I have something I'm working on right now with someone.
Okay. All right.
That I'm gonna keep under wraps, and then I'm also working on my next solo.
Okay.
EP/album.
So you're doing a collab project with someone else, and you're doing a solo project as well. Okay, that's tight. You hustling right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This has been the RDCarucci podcast. Go get Brooklyn Vignettes on all streaming services now. And
so follow me on Instagram at RDCarucci Music.
Yep.
And Twitter at RDCarucci.
Word. You tweet a lot? Not that much. Okay. All right. That's been another episode of Fake Radio, and we are signing off.